Hey guys, welcome back to another week of PWTB. Unfortunately, Evan is not with us this week. He is back home. he had just finished up another semester of college, so let's give it up for Evan. Evan will be joining us back next week, but for right now, I got my co-host Thomas. Thomas, how you doing?
I'm doing great, just living the dream, I guess.
So, famous podcasters, am I right?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yes. All right, so let's jump into our first topic. We got a selection Sunday recap. Thomas, who are the teams that surprised you the most that got in the tournament?
Um, I would say probably I was more surprised at who didn't. You know what I mean? Who
Hmm.
didn't? Like Vanderbilt was mostly fleeced. What about you?
Yeah, maybe Rutgers, maybe Clemson. I'm right there along with you. I think Vanderbilt, if any team, they should get in. Let's look at the teams who did get in. We got obviously a couple of the first four games tonight. We got Texas A&M and Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and we got Southeast Missouri State that decides the seeding for the South Tournament that decides who's going to play Alabama. And then the other game we got Pittsburgh and Mississippi State that will decide the Midwest who plays Xavier in the first round.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
you know, you know the team that most surprised me, I think that got in,
Okay.
maybe actually is I think the team that surprised me the most that got in is actually probably Clayton. But don't sleep on Clayton because Clayton could make it a long way. Like I said in the last week's video, I predicted UCLA to go all the way. So, um,
You're putting your
Thomas,
hat
who
on
are
that. You're putting your hat. You're wagering that.
I'm putting my what?
Are you putting your money on it? How about that?
I'm not. I don't know if I'm putting my money on it, but I'm pretty confident about it. I
Okay.
picked them. I'm sticking with that pick.
All right.
Who's your pick to win the whole thing?
I mean, I might get hate for it. I think Baylor has a great shot.
Yeah, Baylor is definitely one of those. It's definitely one of those top teams. They have a couple wins over AP top 10 teams, I believe. Um, Baylor, Arizona, UCLA, teams we talked about last week. Um, excuse me. I think that North Carolina, you know, they were ranked at AP number one this year at some point. They all the way down and not making the tournament. And it was announced yesterday that the North Carolina Tar Heels will not accept bid to the NIT tournament, which is the secondary tournament of the postseason for NCAA. What do you think
Okay.
about that?
Um, I mean, that just shows that it was a disappointment season where, you have all the expectations and it doesn't go anywhere. I mean,
Yeah,
that's just,
like I said, they were ranked number one. They lose to Alabama, they lose a couple more games, it all goes downhill from there.
all it takes is one game.
Yeah. So the other four that did not get in the first four out was Oklahoma State, Clemson, North Carolina, and Rutgers. So we just talked about North Carolina, but let's talk about Clemson for a little bit. I thought they made a nice run in the ACC, did not do so great in the tournament, but I feel like they might have had a chance to get into the tournament because they did have some quality wins. Now, Rutgers is the same way. Oklahoma State, you know, I don't believe they deserve to get in, and they did not. So
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think about those three other teams, Thomas?
I mean, like you said, they had some quality wins, just didn't. they were just not good enough to make it into the tournament. And personally, it is what it is. I mean, as I NCAA is a tough league. I mean, you make it or you don't.
Yeah. With that being said, the other fall first four in tournament games, tomorrow, Arizona State, Nevada. That decides who that decides who plays TCU in the West. And then we got Texas Southern and Fairlife Dickerson. That decides in the East. Who will play Purdue? I was talking to Thomas earlier. My final four prediction is UCLA, Houston, Tennessee, and Arizona. With obviously UCLA and actually Tennessee advancing to the national championship game. UCLA obviously eventually down in Tennessee. So